So we call each other up and not out. This is actually one of the guiding principles that I live by when it comes to relationships and when it comes to accountability. When I was in my late teenage years, I had two really good friends of mine, and we called each other accountability partners. So whether it was struggling with issues of sin in our lives, or if it was even just maybe not living up to our potential, and the other friend would see it in one of us, we had this saying that we call each other up and not out. A lot of times people have a tendency to call out something that is wrong, and that's all good and well, and it's important that brothers or sisters call each other out and they speak the truth. But what happens when you call each other out is a lot of times you actually kind of incriminate them and you make them feel like they have no way out of the situation. When you call each other up, it's actually calling them up to their potential. So when we look at this in Scripture, we see this all over where Jesus would call people up to the potential that he had put inside of them. In fact, really, in the gospel, that's what Jesus has made a way for, is to call us up into relationship with him, not incriminate us into eternity without him, right? So that's the gospel. I think when we do accountability, it's really important that with your accountability partner, you're calling them up. So that looks like, hey man, instead of saying, hey man, you messed up and you screwed this up royally, what is that going to do for them? Is that actually going to help them grow, or is that going to make them feel like garbage? If a friend is on a diet and you tell them how bad they were for eating the cake, they're probably going to eat more cake when they were away from you because now they feel like garbage. Versus saying, hey man, how good does it feel to be healthy? How good does it feel to get up and go for the run in the morning? I'm telling Kobe, who's behind the camera right now, how good it felt to go for a run this morning. And so by doing these things, we're actually calling one another up to our potential. So instead of saying, hey man, you did wrong, you can say, hey man, I know who you are, and the way that you're acting actually doesn't represent who you really are. There's better, there's more to life than the choices that you're making at this very moment. I see it and I know it. God sees it, God knows it. I want to invite you and encourage you to live in your potential.